Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best point guards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM here on this tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 15,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I'm uploading every single day. Tons of daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. I decided to go with a bit of a more bare bones approach to this tier list this time. I only got about 22 point guard cards on this list instead of getting closer to 30 or 35. Just decided to thin it out a little bit, but if there's anybody I leave off the list you'd like to hear my thoughts on, feel free to leave me a comment and I'll let you know where I'd rank them at point guard. But I think I pretty much got to most of the guys that are at least the relevant point guards in my teams. So Derrick White starts us off, and he starts us off really strong. I understand he's a Sapphire. I'm standing on putting him in B tier, and if you consider the value this card has, very soon he will probably be A tier, because the Celtics still have 3 more in-season tournament games, which means that Derrick White could get evoed as high as Diamond, and even as a Sapphire. He's already a 6'4 PG, good size. That's a check mark. That's a W. He's also a capable shooter. Got his release on quick, solid 3-point rating. That's a W. He's got good speed, good enough ball handle rating to get a speed boost, and he's got decent-ish playmaking badges that are getting upgraded. Also nice. He can dunk wide open. That's a W. And then defensively, he's a great perimeter defender already with really good defensive badges, and that's one of the most important things about a point guard. Derrick White is an incredible card. I don't want to spend too much time on him, but he is an awesome option. Pretty easy B tier there. Gilbert Arenas is good, but not incredible. He's a decent defender at the point guard position. He does shoot the ball at a very high level. His release is not truly elite, though. His movement is good, but not great. And he's a good card, but I don't think he's quite an S tier point guard by any means. Honestly, I think Allen Iverson is one of the worst PGs on this list. I don't think he's quite D tier, but I certainly don't think he's that far off of it. He's not a horrific card. He dunks the ball pretty well, and he's not a horrible perimeter defender. Got some pretty decent sigs and an okay release, but he's just very undersized, does struggle defensively. And offensively, I never think AI's release is quite elite enough to truly be great after the first month or so of the game. AI is just one of those guys who kind of I feel like is phased out in 2K because of the lack of size, unfortunately. Baron Davis gives you a little bit more size, a little more defense, a little more slashing than AI. I think he's just a more versatile card, kind of like Derrick White. They're honestly pretty similar. Baron a little bit better slasher, Derrick White maybe a little bit better shooter, and they're both really versatile, solid point guard options, though great value budget cards in my team. In terms of value, I'd take Derrick White over Baron Davis, but I like both the cards a lot, and I think B tier is super fair. Damian Lillard's a great offensive card, but he's horrific defensively, and he's small, which is a big detriment. He's great offensively, though, moves well, great release, dunks the ball super well. He was a super fun card early in the year. Don't quite think he holds it down defensively enough to be super great at this point, but he's still good enough to not be D tier. Lillard and Williams, the only reason I'm including them on this list, honestly, is because he's a Season 2 card. It's not like he's this great reward by any means or anything along those lines. He is not a good card, particularly compared to the standard of this list. Release is very mediocre. He's not a good slasher. He's not a good defender. He doesn't really do anything all that well. Honestly, all that Derrick Rose does well is number 1, kind of dribbling, and then number 2, slashing. He's a capable dribbler, and he's an elite slasher, but he's not a great shooter. His release is very mediocre this year, and honestly, defensively, he's very poor as well. Derrick Rose, just not that good in 2K right now. There have been points in time where D-Rose is one of the best point guards in my team, but this year has not been the case, and honestly last year wasn't either. Donovan Mitchell is honestly pretty similar to Gilbert Arenas. They're both kind of do-it-all point guards. D-Mitch has a little bit more speed and slashing ability for sure. Gilbert gives you a little bit more of the size aspect, but I like them both a lot as super solid point guard options. Definitely both pretty confident A-tier guys in my opinion. Another A-tier guy who I don't know if he quite cracks S-tier is D-Wade, but he's very close to S-tier if he doesn't quite get into that top 5 or so. Really like the card, though. Defensively, he's a beast. He does a lot of things really well on both ends of the court. He's not an incredible shooter, but he's got a very smooth, consistent release. He's a good slasher. His wingspan is super nice in addition to a very nice player build. He does shot create at a high level. I just think he's a super solid all-around card. Honestly, Morant is basically Derrick Rose with a faster release, but not as good sigs. They're very similar cards, though. Honestly, not a big fan of either of them. Second year in a row, again, that meta, not a huge fan of. I liked D-Rose early in the year last year, I will say, and I liked Ja earlier in the year last year, though, more than I like their cards this year. I guess they were higher tier as well, but still, definitely liked them more last last year than I did this year. John Wall is definitely an S-tier PG. No doubt about that one. Top 3 point guard in the game at absolute worst. Very, very fast release, incredible slasher, and a really good defensive point guard. He's basically just better Dwayne Wade in most areas. D-Wade might be slightly better defensively, but John Wall definitely has a pretty significant edge offensively. Half speed booster, blow by, and things like that, as well as some really good dunking badges like posterizer and precision dunker, also on Hall of Fame. John Wall, one of the best point guard options in my team. Kyrie Irving, I'm going to go at the back of A tier. Really, really solid card as well, of course. I think Kyrie, honestly, like, he's barely top 10 if he even is top 10 at the point guard position. I don't think I included him top 10 though. So honestly, I actually think he has to go. Look, I think people are going to get on to me about this one. I really do. I'm putting Kyrie high B. I don't want the tiers to be lopsided. I actually think this is a fair spot for him because of the lack of defense of the card plays. I know offensively he's incredible. I know his dribble style is very, very good. I know there are people out there who are elite level Kyrie Irving users, but defensively he does struggle. His dribble style, the question is that enough of a benefit to have the best dribble style in the game, be that elite shot creator for you? And if the answer is yes, then he's higher up, but he's in this borderline, A to B in my opinion, to be honest. Although he and Gilbert are actually pretty close as cards, so I don't know. I'll leave him A, I guess. I don't want to get yelled at in the comments as well. But Lonzo's S, he's 6'6", super complete, does everything on the court at a pretty high level. He's not an incredible playmaker, but he's pretty good. Release is super solid. Defends his butt off, slashes really well. It's about all we got to say with him. Magic's best value is just that he's 6'9", creates a huge mismatch, gives you a ton of defensive versatility. He's not an elite defender himself, not an elite shot creator either, but he can hit open. He's got that size mismatch ability. A lot of value to that type of stuff still. Michael Richardson, 6'5", one of the best defensive point guards in the game. Offensively, really all you wanted to do is be at best a secondary, time burst towards the rim, or catch and shoot wide open with him. That's about it offensively, though. Definitely going to need more playmaking next to Michael Richardson, but defensively, he's one of the best guards in the entire game. That holds a ton of value, so that puts him A tier for me. Tiny Archibald is not good at all. He's like 6 foot with a 73 ball. That card is an atrocity, like really, really bad. That's a pretty easy D tier for me, I would say. Definitely don't have to think about that one much. Oscar is 6'5", which is nice, and he has a very nice release as well, but defensively he's not great. He's not an elite level slasher. His movement is also not incredible. I think the size and the release is enough to give him a decent, I don't know, is it? I think that might be, I guess I'll go B. No, I'm going to go C. I'm going to go C for Oscar. I don't like that card that much. I don't think he's all that good. I really like SGA a lot. I think he's great. I think he's the best point guard in the game for sure. 6'6", MJ dribble style, top tier release, gets every single badge, statistically versatile. He's a great, great card. Definitely S tier, easy S tier for sure. Sean Livingston, going to go S tier as well. I'm actually going to move, I don't know who to move down. I got to move a couple guys down. I don't know who to move down. Maybe I go Michael Richardson moves down because he doesn't do enough offensively, and then Gilbert or I think it's got to be Kyrie, man. I feel like I have to move him down just to make the list a little bit more even. I think we're going to do it like this. Livingston's size and defense wins out for me over Kyrie. Just my play style personally. Some people would prefer Kyrie. I think a lot of people would. But for me right now, at least, I'd lean Livingston in most matchups with the way the meta of this game is right now. Steph Curry comes in at B tier, C tier, B tier, C, B. Definitely not C. I don't know what I'm talking about. Offensively, he and Kyrie are pretty similar. Steph has a better release. Kyrie has slightly better movement, although Steph's movement is still very good. They're both pretty much liabilities defensively. I think this is fair. I'll go B tier with both of them. I really will. They're the top 3 hunting PGs, and if you love that playstyle, go for it. They're fun to use, but they can definitely be exploited defensively at times, and that can be a big issue. Tyler Hero goes A tier because he's 6'5", D-book dribble style, really nice release, good fade. He's a great offensive card with good size as well. Big fan of Tyler Hero. I think he's a borderline top 5 point guard in the game. And then we have Tyrese Maxey, who probably goes C tier at best. His release is hitchy. He's not an elite defender, doesn't get key badges. Also ridiculously overpriced, 245,000 MT for this card, but in my opinion, he should have been free and grindable. It's kind of ridiculous, but that's a whole different topic for another day. With that being said, that is going to do it for this tier list. Let me know what y'all think of the list in the comment section down below. I'm ready for the outrage about Steph and Kyrie, but I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.